Right then, guys, how's it going? Welcome back to Toon Tuesdays, your weekly roundup of Newcastle United news. How are you all doing? We are live once again, so thank you to everyone who I can see jumping in the chat. And if you are watching as a video, thank you guys for joining me as well. So, today's main topic of conversation is going to be about Newcastle United in December. We have 5 fixtures in December. All 5 of them are going to be pretty tough, I think. But before we get onto that, we do have a few bits of conversation to go through as well. Hello to everyone jumping in. Hello, Jack. Hello, Geordie and Mark. Mr. Juice and Seth. Scott's jumping in early with he thinks we're going to get 5 points from the 5 games. Maybe bag 7. So you will see this in the top of the description, but I will also put it in the chat for the live. I want you guys to have your vote as to how many points you think Newcastle are going to get in December. Now, I was torn between 2 questions, between how many points we think we're going to get from these 5 games in December, and then also the question of what position will we be sat in the league come January? Because I think really for me, the point, if I don't really care how many points we get, if we can be in 17th place by January, who knows? Maybe 4 or 5 would be enough. Maybe, what is the league saying? Well, we need at least 3 and lots of goals, but you know what I mean. I think we're going to need a few, to be fair, to be out that relegation zone. But as I say, the link is there. I will share my screen just quickly to show you guys what the poll is looking like as well. There you go. Well, that is the league table there. So as I say, 5 games to go. They're in the thumbnail if you didn't see it joining the stream, but it obviously starts off with Leicester this weekend. Then we go against Liverpool away. Following that is Manchester City at home. Following that is Manchester United at home. And then following that is Everton away. Obviously, again, before we get onto all those fixtures, we have a few things to discuss. And one of those things is the win against Burnley at the weekend. Obviously, I'm still smiling since then. Very happy to see us finally get our first win on the board. And as I say, I feel like we have been talking about this Norwich and Burnley game since the start of the season. We've been talking about it for ages because we all knew how important those 2 games were going to be. And when we didn't get the win against Norwich, it was quite worrying, to be honest. So to get a draw against Norwich, but get the win against Burnley, I think really, well, first of all, was just for a chance for everyone to smile for a change, because I don't think we've done much smiling. Obviously, then off the field, we have the takeover, new manager, and all that kind of thing. But in terms of actual football, we wanted something to cheer about, and maybe. Well, I certainly went over the top. It was like we'd win the league the way I celebrated that game. But that's how much it meant, to be honest. It was brilliant to finally, go out there and put some points on the board properly. If I go on, let's see, we'll just view it on here. I think it's probably the best way to do it. So you can see here. These are obviously the fixtures that we're going to talk about. Leicester, Liverpool, Manchester City, Manchester United, and Everton. We're not including the Southampton because obviously that's January. Again, let me know down below in the straw poll. And I did put every single amount of points on there. I don't know if some of them are even mathematically possible, probably. But I thought, you know what, screw it. I'm just going to put them all in there. So if we are able to win all 5 games, it would be 15 points. If we do lose, is there a? I Didn't put 0. Oh, no. Well, okay. We're going to have to draw at least one of them now because I've missed 0 off. So 1 is going to have to be both. So if you're feeling really negative about these games coming up, you're going to have to just put 1. Which I suppose, I mean, even the most negative person has to be slightly positive now because they can't put 0. They're going to have to put at least 1. And I will go, I'm going to basically run through every game and tot up my prediction, and then I'll put my vote in, and then obviously I'll see what you guys have put as well. Again, if you're just joining the stream late, then thank you for joining. Where are we? Those are the fixtures. So just a few quick entries. We've got Matt coming in with a 4-pointer. Neil says we will not be in the relegation zone on January 1st. You hear it here first. I really hope so, Neil. Honestly, I think for me, we're gonna talk about the points and how many points I think we'll get from each game. But you know what? I don't care how many points we get. If we could just give me 17th or 6th. I mean, I think I'd just take 16th now, to be honest. I mean, looking at these games, and again, we'll talk about them, but I think we've got a little bit of a chance against Leicester. I think they haven't been too good, but you look at the Liverpool and Manchester City games, and I'm thinking we're going to really struggle in those two. I'm hoping for 6, but I'll settle for 6. That will be decent. Yeah, I would certainly settle as well. 6 points there, so that would be 2 wins or 3 draws. No, that's impossible. 2 draws and a win. I mean, even that will be, I would say that's good, from those games. Obviously, Everton is the one I think a lot of people would probably have had their eyes on, and by all means played really well last night against Arsenal and won 2-1. Yes, it was a last-minute goal, but Richarlison scored 2 offside goals, didn't he? So it could have been more. You look happy. That's good to see. I am pretty happy, David. Thank you. I'm still living off the win at the weekend. I don't know how happy I'll be at the end of this month. We'll have to wait and see. But I'm certainly happy for now. Andrew Phelan, 1 win, 1 draw, 3 losses. So that will be 4 points there. Mr. Juicebox is looking for a win against Leicester and Everton. Beat Leicester and Everton draw to 1 at the big boys. It's doable. Well, you know what? The rumor is, it is Toon Tuesday, so we will talk about a few other bits as well. There's obviously some stuff coming out of the club this week that I want to mention in this video alongside some of the predictions for December. But one of the things is apparently Eddie Howe has made contact with Matty Longstaff. Basically, he's apparently aware of the fact that he isn't getting a huge amount of game time, and I believe is actually in conversation with him about bringing him back. And we all know what Matty Longstaff can do, especially against Manchester United. So maybe it's worth bringing him, getting him in, just so that we can see him play against Manchester United. To be honest, he loves scoring against them. Just get him back from the loan. I think this loan only actually lasts till January, isn't it? I don't think it's a full season, so we could bring him back 4 days early and get him on the pitch. Obviously, there's been a lot of conversation coming out this week, and again, this is pretty much news that goes along with it all. Is that we saw Callum Wilson come out and discuss the fact that he didn't believe that the team was at full fitness at the start of the season. Then we've also had Jamal Lascelles come out, I think just today or yesterday, also saying that he didn't think the team was at full fitness, and that you can see already how big of a step up the team has made under Eddie Howe. And then to go along with that, with the Manchester United, with the possibility of seeing Matty Longstaff come back, apparently he hasn't been getting much game time up in Aberdeen. And again, that's some fitness issues as well. So that's just word of mouth, to be honest. So take of that what you will. I could be wrong. But I think there's a player in Matty Longstaff, to be honest. And I was very disappointed of how things ended at Newcastle and eventually just getting shipped off, to be honest. So as I say, I know I'm joking. I'm joking about the fact that obviously he scored his goals against Manchester United, but in those games he looked good, and he was a key part for us in those games. Whether it would be able to just bring him back and he would be good straight away, I would probably doubt it. But there's not to say that Eddie Howe can't get something out of him as well. A few more on here. Where are we? Burnley at home to Watford on the 15th, right? So that's another thing as well. Obviously, some of the games around us are gonna be a big factor. I mean, you look at that there, and what we were saying, people are generally saying 6 points, 4 points. You look at the fact that Southampton are 6 ahead. So really, we're not just 6 points from 5. Would technically be enough to put us ahead of Watford, but that's assuming that Watford lose all of their games in December, and that's not even talking about what Norwich and Burnley do. So it's good. It's gonna be a tough month. Again, if you've not voted, it's in the top of the description. Get your vote in for how many points you think Newcastle can pick up this December. As long as we stay in touch and distance of the teams around us, I think sign a few in January will be okay. January, February has potential to go on a good run. Well, this is it, and it almost just comes at a bit of a funny time for us because, again, taking these 5 teams here in December, going into January, that's where we want to be in a decent-ish position, so we can try and look to sign a couple of players. If we go through this December and come out the other end of it in bottom place, it's the worst timing when we're looking to. It would have been if we could have just had. I don't mind having this run. You're going to have to play the good teams eventually. I'd rather probably not do them all in a row like we seem to be doing here, or at least the 2 Manchesters and Liverpool in a row isn't ideal. But if we could have done this run in February, after the January window, maybe had a few nicer games in December just to bump us up a little bit before we go into the January window, because I want people looking at us in January going, oh yeah, that could join Newcastle. That's not a bad shout. If we come out of this December and we've had a poor run, it's going to be tough. Buller Boy thinks we'll beat Leicester, draw Manchester United, draw against Everton, nout else. So that'll be 5 points. Again, that'll be enough to see us out of the relegation zone. I mean, for me, as I say, we don't know what's going to happen in January. And I've read something today. Apparently, we're offering to double Tarkowski's wages just to see him come over to us, which again is probably just a load of rubbish paper talk. But if we're not won a game in December and we're still down at the bottom, it's another 5 games gone. You're looking at halfway through the season and still in a tough place. Gone for 7 points with a chance to be 17th on January the 1st. Leicester hopefully knackered at the whatever luck versus City, a point at Everton. I think, well, again, you're looking at those games there. I think obviously Everton's a shout still. I know they played better against Arsenal, but they haven't been great. I'm sure Rafa Benitez will probably want to put one over on us as well. I think everyone's looking at that Leicester game. Again, it's just because for me, I just think the Liverpool game, who knows, to be fair. I think this is one thing about the Premier League is there's always anyone can beat anyone on the day. We've seen Watford pull off a few fun results as well. And, Norwich have picked themselves up in their last few games too. But, looking at the law of averages and percentages and whatever, I think that the bookies would definitely not have us as favourite for any of these games, to be honest. Hello, Ballon, mate. How are you? It was a much needed win. Longstaff will be better than Shelby. Matty went to Aberdeen. Oh, it was for the full season, was it, Mark? Yeah, I thought it might have just been till January. But, well, again, depending on how he's doing there, and again, what Eddie Howe plans on doing in the January, I imagine he'll probably want to bring a midfielder in. So how much room will there be for Matty if we are looking to sign new players? How do you think we should approach the Man City and Liverpool games? Damage limitation to keep goal difference down, to have a go and risk a heavy defeat. Oh, I think definitely, man. I definitely wouldn't say damage limitation. I wouldn't go into a game and say, right, let's not concede loads. But I would definitely go in with probably a more suitable approach than maybe what we saw against Norwich and Burnley, where we'll let the shackles off a bit. I'd still probably say I'd like to see 4 at the back. I think we'd need to see how we do against Leicester first, because if Eddie Howe's brave and goes with 4 at the back, although I wouldn't even necessarily say whether it is brave, because I just think that Manquillo and Lewis are actual defenders over playing 5 at the back with Murphy and Ritchie. I think we're probably more defensive with 4 at the back, because we've actually got 2 fullbacks who know how to play there over 3 centre backs. One of them is probably going to be Clark, who's obviously having a nightmare. Again, I was disappointed that Fernandes didn't play against Burnley, but credit to Lascelles, he played well. The only thing with Lascelles for me is that Burnley's a game that suits his play style. Burnley hit the ball long. Burnley like the long ball. Lascelles can stand there. He can head it away. Now, how the hell is Lascelles going to handle, Salah or whatever? He's going to have a nightmare. So I would like to see Fernandes playing on a more regular basis, to be honest. But I won't take it away from Lascelles. He had a good game. If you can keep that level of play, that would be good for us. Fingers crossed, Saturday's result will prove to be a massive confidence boost again. Yeah, absolutely, Mark. This is the thing. We're talking about how many points we're hoping Newcastle might get in this December period. And again, if you've not voted, I'll put that back in the chat for you guys to take a look at the straw poll. And yes, I did forget to put 0 on there. So you can't be negative. You have to give at least Newcastle 1 point in the next 5. Even the most negative person's going to have to give us at least 1 at this point. But and as I say, I will do mine before we shut off as well. But yeah, it's you look at that Leicester game, and if we somehow manage to go there and win, then you're thinking, well, can we pull something off in maybe one of these other games? I think for me, if I had to just give a quick flash of what I think, and to be fair, if you looked at the thumbnail, you've probably already seen it. But yeah, I think on our day, if we do a good job, I'd like to see us take a point from Leicester at least. Just after the confidence boost of Burnley and the fact that Leicester aren't playing that great at the moment, they have been on a lot of up and down form, not even just a little bit. And if we could take that to our advantage and go there to win, then maybe we can. Well, here we go. This is a good one. Chester's coming. Hi, Leicester fan here. To beat us next week, just make sure you get fouled a lot or get some corners. We are stuffed. Yeah, that's actually a really good point. Thank you for your comment. I actually was listening to the radio the other day, and they were talking about the fact that one of Leicester's biggest weak points is that set plays. I'll be honest and say, although to be fair, our goal against Burnley did come from a set play. It did start as a corner. It did come out of the box and get passed around a little bit, but it did come from a corner. I know Brendan Rodgers is working very heavily on trying to fix this issue at Leicester and get them up to speed on set plays. It was quite funny what they were saying on the radio, because they were basically talking about the fact that sometimes it can almost become like, Chester, mate, you let me know as the local Leicester fan in here, that it can almost become psychological. Like, oh my God, there's a corner. Like, oh crap. We've spent all week learning how to not concede from a corner. And as soon as there is one, you just kind of forget what you've been learning all week and kind of fall into the habit of the way you've been going. I mean, you let me. How are you feeling about Brendan Rodgers at the minute? Do you think he's going to turn things around? Another thing Leicester have got a big trouble with at the minute is injuries as well. Leicester have got a lot of injuries. Obviously, Jamie Vardy's, I think, struggling to play every game at the minute just because he's getting a little bit older. I'm sure Tielemans has been out, and have you got like 3 defenders who were injured as well? So, if we're being honest, as a Newcastle fan, I think we're playing. We are playing Leicester at a good time, to be honest. Not only have they got injuries, but they haven't been playing that great either. What was their? I've been doing my predictions for tomorrow night. See, it's all handwritten. I go through everyone's predictions. So if you want to get your predictions in tomorrow night, ready for the weekend's games, be sure to watch out for that. It'll probably be about 4:00 tomorrow. So keep your eyes peeled. Yeah, Leicester lost against Aston Villa, didn't they? Which again is a team who've kind of picked up a little bit since they've got Steven Gerrard in. Don't know why people fear Leicester. I think we'll get 6 points from them. I'm loving the positivity, Peter. I hope so too. Leipzig beating City at the minute, so why can't we get a result against them? Stranger things have happened, mate. I mean, there's not many stranger things, but it's possible. I just think the thing for us against Manchester City is they hold the ball so well. If they score one, I don't think we'll ever get the ball back. So if we can get the early goal, if we can put on the early press, maybe we can get one, and maybe we can kind of pull our way through it. It'll be in front of a home crowd, so I'm not completely ruling it out. But I just think the minute, and to be honest, maybe this is the wrong thing to say, but I think Man City boring. They're not very fun to watch because they score one and then pass it around for 80 minutes. You know, like it's not quite parking the bus, but you know, a lot of, and I don't expect them to give the ball back. You know, if they score, they want to win, they'll pass it around for as long as they need to. But I remember I went out to the pub to watch the Manchester City versus Manchester United game, and it was boring. Manchester City just pass it around so much, and you know, it's not to say that it's a bad way to play football. I prefer the way Liverpool do it. You know, I like to see quick counter, fast, exciting, not pass it around the back. But again, it's won them the league how many times? So, you know, I shouldn't be so critical, really. 7 points, why not? Man U can be got at. Yeah, again, I think if we're looking at the games there, for me, I think it's the Leicester and the Manchester United one. And then again, again the Everton as well, just a few days later. Cheers from Australia. Love the show. Thank you, Tony. That's massively appreciated. Eddie has far more tactical nous than Bruce. Maybe a surprise win in the offering. Well, this is another big thing to consider. You know, first of all, we've had a win under our belt, so at least we can go into these games with a little bit of confidence. You know, and even the games we didn't win, I know we were 10 men against Norwich, but what a performance, what an effort we gave, I should say at least. Brentford was scored 3. We conceded 3 as well, but we gave it a good shot. And Eddie Howe will make plans specifically for the games we go into, which again, my man who mentioned about, we damage limitation, or we're going for it. I think we'll go for it in every game. I just think that maybe we'll let the brakes off a little bit more in the Leicester game than maybe we will, you know, in the Liverpool game the following Thursday. I think we'll probably be a bit more smarter with our defence and when we attack. But it's not to say that we aren't going to try and take all 3 points. Good evening, Gary. How are you? We'll be happy with a point with a big 6. Yeah. Rob, how are you? We West Ham getting a new owner. Good for you, mate. Join the party. Hello, Ryan. Yeah, that's another good point from Helen. Leicester play on Thursday in the Europa League. I actually saw about apparently the 6 senior players on the Spurs side have tested positive. So don't know what will happen with their Europa League game. But yes, that's it. Not only have Leicester on a bad run, not only do they have about 7 injuries, they also play on Thursday night when we're resting and getting ready for the weekend. So Yeah, I think we're definitely playing them at a good time. Yeah, Man City are boring to watch. Yeah, I mean, as I say, if Newcastle did it and we won something, then I probably wouldn't mind it as much. But yeah, as a neutral, it's not the most exciting. It's never easy with Newcastle, though. Would you accept boring football if it brought? Yeah, this is what I mean. If you told me we'd do it and then win something, I think I'd probably get over it, to be honest. But if I could have, best of both worlds and something fun to watch and also some trophies, that would be great. If you think Leicester beat Southampton, draw versus United, lose the rest. Ooh, so you're not very confident yet. And yeah, mate, that one's actually in January as well. So we are just talking about the 5 in December. But yeah, again, these three are going to be really tough. And as I say, for me, the big thing here is ideally going into January. We want to really try and not be in the relegation zone. To change the topic up very slightly while we're on the call here, because there obviously has been a few little bits of other news coming out in the last day or so. Obviously, the fact that we won the Burnley game is cracking, so we can all be happy about that. Something else that's happened. Let me get it on screen so we can all. I muted myself, I think. So hopefully I'm back again. Can you hear me okay? Just flashed up and said you are muted. Right, let's take a look at this. Great news for Newcastle fans as the Sports Direct signs are finally off the stadium. Can you believe it? I actually thought it wasn't going to be until Wrecked.com. I mean, that's one great bit of news, isn't it? Really, the Ashley era is finally on its way out. It's funny actually because if you look underneath here, you can actually see that's a giant advert. Look at these Sports Direct signs around here as well. We've all concentrated on the big signs around the top and even roof of the stadium, but now we need to imagine it without all of that as well. I'm sure they were even on the backs of the stewards' uniforms as well. So we are actually finally getting rid of these horrible signs. Yep, I'm hoping that means you can hear me, Rory. Thank you. So obviously that's fantastic news for us. So there's my email addresses if you want to email me. I'm not sure why that just popped up, but anyway, other news as well. While we're on, I was just going to mention this one quickly as well. I'm not even going to bother bringing it up screen. So this, and to be fair, this actually goes into a little bit of what we're talking about here because. Again, we're talking about the next 5 fixtures. We're talking about where we want to be come the 1st of January. We're talking about hopefully bringing some players in January. There has been quite a lot of chat about the sporting director again. I think, well, it's been all over, hasn't it? This Michael Emiliano, who used to be at Chelsea, was apparently rumoured, and then apparently he didn't say yes to the job, and then the big dog Murdad, Amanda's husband, has actually publicly tweeted to say that he wasn't offered the job and we never wanted him. I'm going to do allegedly because I can't remember if that's exactly what he said. But and to be honest, from what I sounded like, he was going to be a good one for the job, but at the same time, kind of regardless of who it is and whether we did offer him a job and he rejected it or not, I'm not too bothered, to be honest. But what I am bothered about is, making these decisions now. Because again, we go back to the fact that Eddie Howe was hired as the head coach. Not the manager. And that still says to me that that was because the plan is to bring in some sort of director of football or something along those lines that is going to kind of deal with the more off the field stuff, like bringing players in. Sorry, I've got Jake's just put a comment. We could have Sports Direct funerals. I'd like that. Yeah, let's move all the signs into the toilets. That is a good shout. A friend of mine said, let's just chuck all of them on the middle of the pitch and before the start of the game have a bonfire. I'm not sure if those metal things would burn, to be honest, but it would certainly be quite a fun sight to watch. But yeah, so it's Sporting Director's been spoken about a lot this week. What is happening with that exactly? I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, and Mark said I'd rather get the right man in than the wrong man quickly, and I do agree. It just depends what the club's plan is, and we don't know what it is. It could be Eddie Howe. It could be Eddie Howe who's been given control of transfers ready for January. But if it's not, I'm hoping that somebody else is doing it. Lost focus. And if they're not, and we are waiting to bring someone in to do it, like I'd like to hope that the fact that we haven't brought in a director of football yet is actually having no effect on anything yet. Maybe that's more of a long-term thought process. Maybe that's more of a long-term plan. But I definitely hope there's someone, because I've always just said, oh, Eddie Howe's in charge of the football. They'll bring someone else in. He'll do the behind-the-scenes stuff, and that'll include transfers. That could be completely wrong. Eddie Howe could be doing the transfers. Amanda could be doing the transfers herself. Who knows who's doing them? But I'm just hoping that somebody is, and that it's something that we are looking at right now. Because as I say, the league table doesn't lie. And I think we all know that, yes, we've made a good start against Burnley, and we are actually only 3 points away from getting out of the relegation zone. And there is plenty of time to go. And I would actually say, under first impressions of how we've seen this team play against Burnley in the last few games, maybe we could possibly do it without signings. But, they would definitely help. And that's why I'm hoping that somebody is on the case. Can't see us getting anyone other than maybe Lingard. Tarkowski value was too high, along with him wanting to stay at Burnley for the rest of the season and join West Ham. I mean, it actually wouldn't surprise me if some of the rumoured players that we've been rumoured with just don't even come in, because a lot of these rumoured players, again, it's just paper talk. Just Tarkowski, his contract's ending soon, so we better just link him to Newcastle. That's pretty much how it feels at the minute. I think there is definitely some truth there. I wouldn't be surprised if someone like him has been approached. I mean, the same with Lingard as well. It's because his contract's ending. Does he want to come and play for 19th place Newcastle? But again, that goes back to the whole point of this stream, really, is the fact that we are talking about these fixtures, and it would be much nicer to approach some of these players having, picked up a few points in these games and be sat in, 16th. Already 16th is getting 6 points. Where are they coming from? Leicester and Everton. Draw. It is a really tough month. I honestly think that I feel like we've been talking about Burnley and Norwich week for ages. Everyone's been looking at this week for finally putting some points on the board. And although I was still very happy with how we've played in the last few, suddenly looking ahead to the games, it's going to be tough. One other fixture to mention as well, which I know isn't really anything to do with, but we also got Cambridge in the FA Cup. You guys must be pretty happy about that. I know I am. It's not often we make it past the third round of the FA Cup, so who knows? Maybe we can. And it's probably a good draw for Cambridge as well, because they'll no doubt get a decent bundle of money for playing a Premier League team. And they probably have a good chance of beating us as well because we hate the cups for some reason. So it wouldn't surprise me if they gave it a good go. But I am hoping that will be the first game. How much will tickets be? I think the tickets for Cambridge, they're normally like, are they tenner? £5 for children, £10 for adults. They're normally really well priced, to be honest. So if you don't normally go to the games, the cup games is normally a really good one to go along to because you get good price and you can sit wherever you want in the stadium. So if you want to go and sit in the Gallagher corner or something like that for a change, it's the same price, £10. If you want to go sit in the Platinum Club in the Milburn, it's £10. So that's normally what I try and do. Sit in the posh bit for a game. The bar's always empty, and you can even order your pints for half time as well, which is better than standing in the queue, which is what I normally do. Although to be fair, as I say, they have added extra. Amanda and the new owners know what they're doing. They've added extra bar staff at half times, so it is a lot quicker getting a pint now. Mr. Juicebox thinks it's going to be an easy win. Hopefully we'll show respect to the cup and Cambridge and actually try in the cups. Yeah, it's again, this is kind of what we said about Leicester earlier. In our Manchester, the Leicester fan coming in and saying, they're struggling with set pieces. I sometimes think it's a bit psychological. I just feel like for so many years, oh yeah, we're not very good at the cups and we just throw it away every time. So I don't think it's that we don't try. We drew against Burnley in the League Cup and got knocked out on pens. So, at least we made it to full time without losing. Just we couldn't do a penalty shootout. And I'm sure we didn't really lose against Leicester the year before in the League Cup as well. So, and that wasn't penalties as well, wasn't it? So yeah, fingers crossed we can do something in the cup game. Definitely, but we always get the clubs trying to stick as much money out of us. Yeah, I think that will be a problem in January. Hard December, but a good Jan where we can pick up some points. I mean, you know what it is? We are talking about December, but good point from Tony. Looking through the January month, if we can survive December, a Southampton game away, and we don't really like traveling, do we? Never really do well against down on the South Coast. We drew with Brighton, didn't we? So 1-1. Watford at home though, Leeds away is going to be a big one, and then Everton at home, and then Aston Villa at home. This looks far more appealing. Trying to get a bit of try and go to Brentford and win this time, unlike we did in the home game. I think Aston Villa at home, they've looked much better underneath Steven Gerrard as manager, but I'd certainly say we've got a better chance in that game than we're doing the majority of the ones in December. I think Leeds are a team that are there to be got at as well. So, obviously you can't do this, but what I would like is to, because again, you're gonna have to play the big teams eventually. If we could just swap this December month with the January one, play these teams in December, and then head into the January window in 15th place because we've done all right, and then look at much more appealing sides to bring players in. Again, we're going to have to play these teams at some point. It's just for us who want to have a good January window to play them all in December and then come out with, it's still sat in 19th and then having to persuade people, oh, we're not going to get relegated, But again, I suppose the January window is a full month. And if we can come out early in the blocks and beat Southampton, maybe that would make us look a little bit nicer. So you could really include the Southampton game really in that December stuff. Look at the lead fixtures in December, just as bad as ours, if not worse. Well, again, this is the next thing. Not only are we hoping that we can try and pull in a few points, but we're also hoping that these guys aren't winning either. We're really hoping that Watford have a bad December month because, past that, it's Southampton who are 2 wins away. You know what? Let's start having an actual go through of these games. So I can get my prediction in. Again, if you've not done it already, top line of the description, or I will put it back in the chat if you want to vote for how many points you think Newcastle can pick up. I've put it as the next 5 games. It is the 5 games in December, and you can't put 0 because we are being a positive stream of happy Newcastle fans who think we are going to get at least 1. Okay, let's Hey, he's noticed, mate. Bring back the beard, lol. I shave my beard off. I know. It was I didn't mind the length. It was just getting far too thick, and I thought, you know what, I can't be bothered. I'm just gonna shave it off and start again. December beard. By the time we get to the Christmas games, I'll probably have a beard again. So there you go. Yusuf chose 10 points. Big up, my friend. What? Okay, yeah. Let's do it. So. I mean, 10 points, that's 3 wins and a draw. So what are you thinking? Leicester win, Manchester United win, Everton win, and a draw? I look 10 years younger. Maybe I should leave it shaved off. Unless I go to the pub, and then I'd probably need it again. Although I do have my ID, and I'm not under 18, so there you go. Colin is going for 9. Jake's saying 1 win, 1 draw. Okay, so for me... Should I write it down? Okay, so for me, Leicester game. Can we win that, or am I just too excited still from the Burnley win? You know what? I'm going to predict what I predicted in my predictions for tomorrow night, and that was 1-1. I can see us. Oh, everyone's so positive, and I'm going to be negative. No, I'm not. I'm going to try and be really positive. Jordan's saying 6. I'm going to go. Okay. Okay, I'm going to go 1-1 for the Leicester game. So I'm going to go 1 point against Leicester. I think we have a chance again. This Leicester game, we have a decent record in the King Power for a start. It's not often that we have a good record anywhere, to be honest. So to say that is quite strange. I remember I went to see us when Perez lobbed Schmeichel. That was the season that was the game that kept us up that season, like 4 seasons ago now. Doesn't feel like that long ago, to be honest. Yeah, I'm gonna go 1 point against Leicester. They have about 6 injuries. Vardy's struggling to play every game. They've got about 4 injuries at the back. They are really struggling with set pieces. Their form has been up and down, and they play on Thursday night. Thanks to Helen, I think it was, you put that in the chat. They play on Thursday. We will have a full week's rest. They will be tired from 3 days back. That's right, Colin. One of those injuries is Tillemans as well. So we are playing them at the best possible time. I think that's the best way I can put it. I don't think it will be an easy game, but I think we are playing at the best possible time. And if any Newcastle fan said they think we could get 3 points, I don't think I would argue. But I'm going to be sensible, and I'm going to go 1 point in that Leicester game. So that's 1 so far. Liverpool on the Thursday night. Let me hear your thoughts on that one. If I'm going to be honest, I'm just going to say we're probably going to lose that one, to be honest. I don't think too many people can probably argue. So I am going to go. I'm not going to give a score line, to be honest, but I'm going to give Liverpool the 3 points there. Again, if we are able to pull off a win against Leicester, that's 2 wins in a row, and all of a sudden there's confidence there, and then we're playing them just 4 days later. You know, can we? Rory's feeling it there. Is that for the Liverpool game? 3-1 win. Yeah, Jordan's a bit more my more on my side there. Would be lucky to get a draw against Liverpool. Yeah, I think realistically they are very good. So I'm gonna give them the points there. So that's still 1 from the first 2. Then we've got Manchester City at home. Play both the Manchester clubs in a week. And they're both at home as well. So there you go. If I had to, and I'm quite lucky with that one as well. I know I heard some people saying they were disappointed that the Newcastle game got moved away from Boxing Day, because I think people like to go out and have a drink on the Boxing Day with the football, but it's actually my girlfriend's birthday on Boxing Day, so it means I can go to the game still and not get told off for missing her birthday. So that one's worked out quite well. Hib is saying 6 points, 3 draws, 2 defeats, 1 win. Draw at Leicester and Everton, and a win at home to Manchester United, and then maximum points against Southampton. That's fair. And Moggy thinks we're going to draw against both of the Manchester clubs. Boxing Day, hangover day. Yeah. Well, that's it. Drink through the pain, but you get a day's break in between now. Rob Leeds playing Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal, and Villa. That is actually worse than ours. Oh, God. Well, I mean, they're 6 points ahead of us, to be honest. So, I mean, even with that run, if they beat no one, we would still have to get 7 points to even go past them. Wow, Rory is really feeling it. Apparently, that win against Burnley has given him the fully optimistic now. Okay, Manchester City. Yeah, again, Newcastle is Manchester City's bogey teams. We always put up a proper fight. I mean, I remember going to the cup game a few years ago and we took them to extra time, and I think we lost in extra time. Aaron saying 0. You can't vote 0, Aaron. It's a minimum of 1. We've spoken about this. You have to be positive. Oh, is this just for the Man City game? Okay, I think that's fair, to be honest. Okay, I'm gonna go 0 as well. I think we'll lose this one against Manchester City. I spoke about it at the start. I think if we can go positive vibes, Colin. Yeah, absolutely. I think if we can go out against Manchester City and maybe get something early, then I'll back us to have a chance in that one. But as I've said already, Manchester City keep the ball so well. The minute the score 1, we won't see the ball again, to be honest. They'll just pass it around the back for the rest of the game. And again, it's not exciting football, but it gets the job done. Although I'm saying that, I think they are losing right now in the Champions League, if I'm not wrong, unless they've equalised. No, they're still losing 1-0. So yeah, if we can do what Red Bull Leipzig do and try and get get a goal early and hang on. So the first 3 games, a draw against Leicester, lose. We're going to be positive into the Manchester United one. Again, the thing is, they have just got a new manager in. They got their win at the weekend against Crystal Palace. The new manager is going to be doing what he can. Yeah, can't wait to see us sit back and counter in 3 games in a row. It's the question. It's what came in earlier from. I've forgotten now. My man came in and said that. Do I think we'll go out to defend and damage reduction, or do I think we'll try and win? And I don't think I think we'll try and win. But as you've put there, Tony, I think the try and win that we'll probably see against maybe Southampton and who knows, maybe even Leicester, again, as I say, a team who haven't been doing so good. I think that will look very different to the games against Liverpool and Manchester City. And then I think Manchester United are not quite as solid as the 2 before that. So maybe, especially with, as I say, a bit of a Boxing Day buzz and everyone will be really wanting to see it. maybe that will see us kind of let loose a little bit more in the Manchester United game. When, as I say, if we can get Matty Longstaff back from his loan spell just in time for that one, then maybe we can get a goal. But yeah, it's all going to be tough. You know, I'm going to have to be positive in one of these games, so I'm going to do it in this one, and I'm going to go. We're going to win that one against Manchester United 1-0. It won't be pretty. I think if we win any of these games, they won't be pretty, to be honest. Fred will help us. I really hope so. McFred. Good evening, Roger. Thank you for joining. Helen says, City, Liverpool and Chelsea are a class apart. Everyone else in the league will need to pick up points. Can see us drawing against Manchester United. Yes, absolutely. I know it feels... I mean, what did I expect coming into this stream, really? I can't be fully positive when these are the games. I mean, I will remain positive. I think I'm being positive about the Leicester game. I think a point. I think it will be. I think if we got a point, it will be a good point. But as I say, you know, who knows? They haven't been playing great. Maybe we can take something from that one. So just to sum up, I've gone draw against Leicester. I've gone lose against Liverpool, lose against Manchester City, but I'm bigging us up for a 1-0 win against Manchester United. So now I'm on 4 points. Maguire own goal to throw us a draw. Just watch. Yeah. may well be. And again, it just happens to be the time when they've just got a new manager in who no doubt will be getting them strengthened at the back and in a much better place by the time they play us. But and have you seen that game's fully sold out as well? I think all the Ronaldo fans are obviously keen to see that one. But again, I mean, it's Christmas time. It's always fun. Just under the lights as well. 8 o'clock kickoff. Straight out on the drink after, I'm sure. Geordie's saying 10 points. Last time we played Leicester, we fired 4 past them. Come on, where's the positivity? There is positivity, but they did also beat us 7-0 a few years ago as well. So, and again, I saw us when Perez beat them, when Lob Schmeichel, as I said earlier. Leicester aren't in good form. If we see a goal, I think we can hold on, but it will be scrappy. Yeah, again, maybe I could have gone 3 points in that one. As I say, the way I will put it against Leicester, I've gone for a draw. I've gone for 1 point. Maybe it'll be 2-2. Hopefully, it'll be fun to watch regardless. It's on the telly. As I've said, they've got loads of injuries. They're playing Europe on Thursday, so we get a longer break. Their form has been poor. They're rubbish with set pieces at the minute. So the best way I can just put it is that if we're going to play them, we're doing it at the right time. So hopefully we can take something from that. And Tony thinks we can beat them. Finishing off Everton game. Again, it's like Rafa Benitez. Is he going to sort us out with a little favour in that one? I mean, they hadn't won a game in about 7, and then they pulled off what was a good win last night against Arsenal. As I say, the goal that Gray scored for the winner was absolutely fantastic in stoppage time as well. But Richarlison scored 2 offside goals, and I've seen Arteta come out and basically say, absolutely love this as well. 3 people at the exact same time, all of them, Agent Rafa. That is top quality. Well done, lads. Absolutely love that. Yeah, hopefully Agent Rafa is gonna do us a solid. It's so, again, like, based on the fact that Everton hadn't won a game in 7, I'm thinking, here we go. That's definitely a game we've got to look at. Yeah, Everton had 2 disallowed goals in the Arsenal game before going on to win 2-1, and it could have been 4-1. You're right. They could have had a few there. Should I just go for it? I mean, where I'm at. You know what? Let's do it. I'm not going to put loss. I was either going to be a draw or a win. And if I put a win, it would take us up to 7 from those 5 games, which, to be honest, could be well off, to be honest. And if I put a draw, it will be 4. But just shows it's slight margins, obviously, and it's only ever one. It could be one goal in it for all games. And this is another thing. That's why it was worrying when we played against Brentford, because we scored 3. We were really attacking. We looked good, and we still got a draw. And then I know the Norwich game, we had a man sent off, but we played well and we looked good at times, even with 10 men, but just got 1 point. And that's something that does worry me slightly, is that in the games when you are playing well, you need to take all the points. I know the Norwich game, we had 10 men, so I won't really have a go there. But I do think the Brentford game, when you play that good, you got to take all the points, because otherwise you're going to struggle. So even in these kind of games, you really want to see where we can go. Nathan coming in. Pickford mistake guaranteed. You know what? With Agent Rafa on the case and Pickford in net, we'll go for a win against Everton. So that takes my points up to 7 for those 5 games. Those are the December games. Again, if you've not voted in the straw poll, be sure to do so. And you know what? If we beat Everton, I'm gonna say we can do it against Southampton as well. Matty the Magpie Man will be down there, no doubt. Because obviously he lives in Southampton now. He'll be doing this he'll be doing this the vlog, because I won't be there. I don't think I'll still be hungover from New Year, probably still hungover from the Man U win. What have we got here? Looking positively, Joe Linton looks like the player we thought we were getting. Have we heard the new John Judge Shelby chant as well? I'm not going to sing it for you. I'm sorry, but it's a what is this? Oh, he's Brazilian. He cost 40 million. It's along with an Oasis song. It's really good. Shelby looks like he's a new man. Other teams might be looking nervously at some of our front players. Yeah. Well, again, this is it. If we can somehow learn how to defend, I think maybe we've got a good chance. Leicester and Everton win. City and Liverpool lose. United draw. 7 points in 5 games. So, Aditya has gone the same as me. I have gone 7 points. So I will get my vote in now. Again, if you've not voted yet, it's in the top line of the description or it's in the chat somewhere. I am going to go 7. So I'll throw it out there in the chat now. What did you guys go for? Yeah, my man was 7 there. 2-1 win won Roger a nice bet of 50 quid. Very nice, my friend. All I want is a centre back in my stocking. That would be a very good Christmas gift, wouldn't it, Tony? Again, based on the fact that Leeds have got a very hard lineup, 7 points. Would that see us over the line going into January? And then a Southampton game where we can hopefully see us. I would open it up to being that far. I mean, for me, it's not being in the relegation zone come January is big for our transfer window. I don't think you can deny that. But even if we are just hovering on the brink and then beat Southampton on the 2nd, we then go into a cup weekend. Maybe that would be enough as well. Okay, I'm going to put the vote in now. 7 points for me. Thank you to everyone who's got involved. Again, if you are watching the video almost an hour later and you haven't put in your points, then please do so. I do want to come back. And there you go. As you have it, I've picked the most popular answer. 7 points from the next 5 games for Newcastle. All tough games in my eyes. I mean, there isn't really an easy game in the Premier League, is there? They're all tough games. Stephen is Everton till he dies. I mean, you must be happy with the win you got it last night, mate. Congratulations. Hopefully, Rafa can sort the Magpies out a win come the 30th of December, but we will wait and see. Lewis has gone with 5 or 6 points. Jordan says 6 points, 2 wins from Leicester and Everton. And yeah, Tony's going 5 points. I think we'll win either against Everton or Leicester, but not both, in my opinion. Yeah, I think if we can get a win against Leicester this weekend, it would definitely put us in a good place, or certainly in a better place. And just confidence-wise, I think more than anything. I think a draw against Leicester this weekend would be a good point. I know that they are not on good form and they've got a lot of issues at the moment. But they only won the league a couple of years ago. They've been pretty much top 6 for the last few seasons. We've seen them in the Champions League. They're playing in the Europa League. Jordy, I voted 7 points and I'm sober. Well said, my friend. But yeah, as I say, get your votes in for what you think. If you are watching right now, be sure to drop a like and subscribe on this stream. We do Toon Tuesdays every Tuesday. If you are watching over an hour later on a video and you haven't subscribed yet, then please hit that button as well. I am getting closer to 25,000 subscribers, which is pretty crazy, to be honest. So thank you to all the support. Thank you to everyone who's jumped in the live stream tonight. I am bringing it to an end there. But it's been a fun hour. I think we all seem pretty positive, to be honest, about this December period. I think had we not won against Burnley, it might have been slightly less positive. I think it was a very important win. And now we're going into, as I say, some extremely tough games. But as you say, hopefully we can. And again, I'm not. We just need to take the small steps in the right direction, heading into. Thank you, Jordy. Yeah, possibly more than having the stadium and all of that. But yes, if you haven't subscribed, then please jump on board to the Roobenstein channel. It's appreciated, and I will have my predictions video out tomorrow night, where not only will I predict the Leicester game, and I've already given that away. I've gone 1-1 in that one, but I will also be predicting all of the other Premier League games, so you guys can get in there and get your predictions in. I have already gone through everyone's predictions from the last video. There was over 150 of them, and I have found the 3 winners from the weekend's games who got 4 correct scores. So they did a good job. But yeah, I am going to jump off there, guys. Thank you all for watching, as always. Again, thank you to everyone who's got involved. Please like if you have enjoyed the video. Toon Tuesdays every Tuesday. So subscribe if you are new and you've enjoyed this one and you want to watch it again next week. There is a lot of football going on at the minute. So there's prediction videos, there's vlogs coming. Again, 2 Manchester games at St. James's Park are going to be big. I'm not going to any away games over December, unfortunately. I've got a lot on at the minute. But hopefully in the new year, I will see a few more away games as well. I started the season off really well. Funnily enough, I actually went to all the away games and then we got taken over. Then I haven't got a chance to go since then. I did go to the Crystal Palace game, actually. And we drew? God, I can't remember. My brain is terrible. Hit the like. Thank you, Jordy. Yeah, guys. Thank you all for watching. As always, subscribe, like, enjoy your evening, enjoy the Champions League tonight. Predictions out tomorrow. And then, as I say, fingers crossed for Newcastle at the weekend. All right, guys, thanks again, and I'll catch you later.